Okay, so let's discover today the 3Design new version, the version 11. My name is Maxime Tifino. I'm the 3Design product manager. If you have any questions, if you want to contact us, I provide you the sales@type3.com address. If you have any questions, if you have sales questions or technical questions, you can use this address. And I'm glad to present you the new version 11 3Design today with the 4 topics that we will cover together during the presentation. So I would like to present you the 4 main topics during these presentations, with first the new features we have in the V11. What are in second the user experience improvements regarding the version 11. What about the feature improvements also? In the third part, I will show you what are the great improvements we have with this new version and some global info at the end regarding the compatibilities and some information regarding 3Design V11. So if you have any questions, please use the chat box. It will be a pleasure to answer, and we can cover some topics if you have some questions regarding the V11 at the end of the presentation. Thank you. So what about the new features? In V11, we worked a lot on unwrap and wrap features. So that's why I wanted to cover first a new tool that we created in the Create Solid Tools bench for 3Design users. You know what I'm talking about. This is a dedicated area in the software to work on 3D features, especially for this group, which concerns the deformations tools. So we have the new Advanced Unwrap dedicated for users who want to unwrap dedicated surfaces. We can work with several surfaces. If you are a 3Design users, you know that in the V10 it is possible only to unwrap one face that you selected. In the V11 you can select more than one face, and it can be done on 3Shaper objects, 3Design objects that you created. So let me show you some example regarding the Advanced Unwrap. So you have for this butterfly, I selected the copy face, the face that we created from the wing, and you can see that that through the Advanced Unwrap now you have the shape of the object, which is created in the unwrapped surface. So it can be really useful when you have to position objects, if you want to be super accurate, when you have to position stones or any patterns you want to do. So this is really useful, and this is a really big improvement we have in the V11. As I told you, we can work also on 3Shaper objects. And in this function, you have also the possibility to decide where exactly the software has to work according to the vertices you can select. For example, if you want to manage properly the symmetry, you have now the possibility in this function to select the vertices where you want to work exactly. So I select, for example, that one, and I select the opposite one, which is the symmetry of the first point I selected, and you can see that the shape is perfectly positioned on the flattened surface. We can work also, you know that in 3Shaper we have colors. You can apply colors on subdivision surfaces. So through the Advanced Unwrap feature, you can select the groups that you want to work on. For example, in this video, we have the yellow, and I'm focused only on the wing. And this is something I can prepare in 3Shaper, and it's super useful if you want to work on a dedicated color you applied on 3Shaper. On this example, for example, I use the red color, and I work only on the internal side from my twist. So it's what you can do with the new tool Advanced Unwrap. I will be able to provide you also videos on YouTube if you want to have more details, technical details regarding the Advanced Wrap. We created some videos for you guys if you want to have more technical details, or if you want to see again these examples I have shown. So this is something we can provide again. Secondly, we created another tool, which is Unwrap2 Curve. Sometimes it can be complicated to work on a shape, especially for this example. When you have to unwrap this shape, you have to position your object and you want to be exactly like the 3D object you cutted or you designed. So through the Unwrap2 Curve, you have now the possibility to draw any curve, any shape which is the same or an approximation of your object you want to have in 2D. Like for example, we have the H shape that I drew before on the plane, and I will be able to position from the Unwrap2 Curve my object in a sketch that I created before. So let me show you some examples I created again. So we have this bangle. I copied the shape, and I will first start with a simple example, a rectangle I want to work inside. So I draw the rectangle and I position it on the OXY plane. Secondly, I select the face I want to work on, and I will use the new tool that I have in the same group, deformation group, and I will be able to select my points where I want to be exactly. So for example, the one, you can see I created 1 point, and I will select the second point just to show where I want to be exactly on the surface. So this example is really simple because we work on 4 corners, which are the corners from the rectangle, and I position exactly where I want to be sure that the unwrap will be perfectly controlled. So for this example, we have single surface in a rectangle, but I created another one that I will show you. So that one, for example, is a shape which is a bit curved on the top and the bottom. It allows me to control exactly the shape I want to work on. Again, to position patterns, objects, letters, etc., etc. It gives you more control on the unwrap. If you are a V10 or a previous version 3Design users, you can understand that it can be complicated sometimes when you want to control the unwrap. Through this function, you can draw any shape and you can control the wrap through something that you drew. So for example, that one is the H. So I position each point I have in my function to be sure that I know where the software will create the shape which is unwrapped. So this is the Unwrap2 Curve function. Finally, and you understood that we have to end the workflow. If I unwrap my surface, I need to wrap it again because I need something which allows me to wrap everything that I prepared. As you can see, we have on this butterfly beautiful patterns that I created. We have also bezels for the stones. So through the advanced wrap we have in the version 11, you will be able to control all those examples and constraints that you can have according your designs and all the objectives you have, especially when you have complicated shape to wrap. Through the V11, we have now the possibility to create any patterns that you can save in your library, And you can see that we have quickly different examples through this slider with different patterns that I wrapped on my butterfly. So how this function works, let me show you examples. So simply I need to work on the surfaces that I created from the Advanced Unwrap or Unwrap2 Curve. So it's you decide which surface you want to work on, and then you select this surface, and through the advanced wrap function, you will have the possibility to position any patterns, like this example. So you have the possibility to move, rotate, and scale the pattern. They are in the library. You have more than 30 patterns available in the V11. We created them for you. For sure, you will have also the possibility to create your own patterns. And as you can see, easily the software can change through the parametric the same condition with a different pattern. So you can see also in the function that you have the possibility to modify the shape, modify the pattern. You can try anything you want to have. We can think that you change the design in front of your customer. And at the end, you have hexagonal and rectangular pattern, but you can also use anything that you can overlap. And we can imagine that this will create a kind of texture you have on the surface. So I can change the offset and change the height of the pattern to create this kind. So you have on the wing, but you can see on the body of the bracelet, I use another texture pattern, which can be created from this advanced wrap function. So this is a really powerful function that we developed in V11. We had so many requests from our V10, V9, and V8 customers regarding this. So we worked a lot on V11 to provide you the maximum of possibilities regarding the unwrap and wrap function in V11. And you can create crazy designs. Everything will be cutted, everything will be wrapped properly. So I really like to use this new tool in V11. Let's talk about the new features that we have in 3Shaper. So to use these new features, we'll have to purchase, or if you have already 3Shaper options, because they are only in 3Shaper Pro V2 version. The first one is the bas-relief. As you can see, we have the toucan from V10, and I created this toucan from 2D curves, and in seconds I can get the 3D object through the bas-relief function that I have in 3Shaper. So let me show you some example. That one, if you are a good 3D user or 3Design users, you can imagine that it can be long and sometimes impossible to create. You can imagine that I want to create a bas-relief from those curves. So I have two solutions with the V10, for example. I can use the Retopology. If you know well 3Shaper, you know that you can draw one by one the faces in one leaf, and then you have to repeat the action, so it can take hours to create this. Through the bas-relief, I just have to select the curves I want to work on. So you can prepare them directly in the tree. You can have one sketch. They have to be closed. And when you created the curves from the sketch, for example, quickly from the bas-relief, you have the 3D objects. You can rebuild the contour if you want to change the precision of your curves, and you can control anything. And in few seconds, you have something which is in 3D or 2D. It's up to you. You create the subdivision surfaces, you can close them or you can keep them opened. And inside the bas-relief feature, you have the possibility to change the height, the offset. We can even change also the compression if you want to have something which is more focused on an edges like that. So you can see the option directly from this mode we have in the list. And I can change after the spin height if you want to change and control perfectly your shape. So that's a very nice feature we have in V11. You can imagine to create any shapes you want from the sketch. And for example, I can position it on a signet ring if you want to have letters, 3D shapes, anything. And the cool thing is that when you created the bas-relief, you can even come back in 3Shaper and modify the shape. Voila, I wanted to show you how I created the toucan. So I just have to select the closed curve. I can change the precision of this object if you don't have enough points on the curve the software provides you. And I can work with symmetry or not. So you can imagine to create something really quickly in 3D. If you want to work maybe on animal body or anything, you can create the symmetry, and it provides you a closed volume, and then you can continue the creation in 3Shaper. So you can see that I created on the leaves, on the flowers, and from the 2D sketch, it is really, really fast. I just have to draw my sketch, I click on the bas-relief feature, and up, I have my 3D object. And I continue the modeling. I can continue if you are not 100% happy with the shape. You can even continue in 3Shaper and modify the subdivision surfaces through the edges, the points, and the faces. If you know 3Shaper, you see that it can be really helpful, accurate, and it's a big time saving on some of your designs. Another feature we have in 3Shaper, fill hole, which allows to fill properly some shapes which are not easy to close, especially if you want to be fast. You see that we have, for example, the two objects on this slide. This one can be complicated to close. So we developed dedicated function. Let me show you the two examples just to explain that sometimes it is impossible to close, for example, this kind of shape, because the software will connect everything on a middle point, which is the middle point from the bounding box of the object. Through the fill hole, the software is more intelligent and knows exactly where he has to close the points and the faces to have something really quick. We can imagine to combine the bas-relief with this function, because as you understood, the bas-relief can be surfaces or volume if you do the symmetry, but if you want to have a flat bottom, you can create first the bas-relief and then you close the bas-relief through these features. It's really quick, it's automatic, and again, a big time saving in the process. A new tool we have in 3Shaper also, if you want to be more accurate when you have to change the sharpness of your edges, you have now the possibility to modify it from this slider. It can be useful when you want to be more accurate, when you have to finish maybe the top of the head. We can imagine on a lion, or if you want to be more accurate when you want to modify the edges when you draw prongs or claws, etc. So from this function, the sharpness can be controlled, and you have the possibility to modify up to you how can be the sharpness of the edges. Before it was not possible because it was binary mode, like 0 normal edges and 1 which is sharp edges. So through this sharpness mode, now you can control in between the two modes we had before with sharp and normal edges, and it provides you more flexibility in your design. Another example, which is the last extrusion tool that we need in 3Shaper. Sometimes you have to do an extrusion, but you have also to deform. We can say we tapered the extrusion. It was not possible to do that in the previous version of 3Shaper. Now you can do it. And this is a really cool tool that we have in 3Shaper Pro. So you have to select the faces you want to work on, and from the feature, you have the possibility for sure to decide the height of the extrusion, the number of slices, and you can control the angle you have. So as the other extrusions mode, you can work with the 4 faces selected. So you have one extrusion, but you can also use the pocket mode, and the extrusion will be created on each surfaces that you selected. So it can be useful also when you want to draw again the claws, or if you want to draw the feet or something you have to taper, then you want to control them, I mean the extrusions, with the deformation in the same time. So you don't have to work for example, with the tapered deformation that you have already. It's quick and really accurate for subdivision modeling. What about the user experience improvements? So first of all, we decided to develop in the V11 a dedicated search bar to be able to find your tool really easily. We can imagine that you want to have the extrusion, or you don't know exactly where is the sweep or where is the Boolean operation because you are a beginner, or you are in the jeweler's bench and you don't want to navigate. You just want to stay in the 3D scene and quickly want to have the extrusion. Through the V11, you have the search bar, which is really easy to understand. You just have to use the Control F in the software. You type extrude, so it can be extrusion, it can be EXT, and the software will show you the functions with the same name or the same start you have in the title, and automatically you can navigate in extrusion or extract or other features you have with the same beginning, and directly you have the options. So we can imagine that you have, let me show you in the software. I can open also 3Design. So this is the V11. For example, as I said, you are in the jeweler's bench, so people who are not familiar with 3Design quickly, you have 3D bench and the jeweler bench. You can navigate directly there. But if I am in, for example, I have this ring size, I want to have, for example, the offset I control directly in the 3D scene, and I select the 2 curve. I don't want, and maybe I don't know where is the extrusion. Through the Control F, I can type extrusion directly. I click on the option, and directly I am in the feature, and I don't have to navigate in the software. So it's big time saving. You don't have to know exactly where are the features, and through this search bar, you can be really fast in the process. We have also a new improvement regarding the tree. The tree can be really long. You know that in 3Design you have the possibility to come back on any items you created, which can be really useful when you want to modify an item, or if you want to select, or if you want to hide, or if you want to show something particularly in your tree. Through the new filter, you have the possibility to search dedicated items. So you imagine that we have different families in 3Design, like curves, stones, other items that we want to select, or if you want, for example, to select all the curves you have in your tree, through the new filter, it can be really easy to find your items and navigate in your tree and find again the items or the item you want to work on. So as you can see, you can search part, polygons, curve, modeling, and you can also filter by material. So let me open, for example, the butterfly, which is the mascot of the V11. So if I have to select, for example, all the curves, because I want to clean my scene and I want to have only my 3D objects, for example, I can access directly to the filter by type. I want to select the curve. The software will calculate all the curves I have in my tree, for example. So it's a huge tree. So you can imagine that it is not easy to search and find where are my curve. And directly in one click, left click, for example, or you can use the space bar if you know that, I can hide all the curve I have on my scene. So easily, I have only my 3D objects and my planes displayed. So you have the filter by material also. If I want to display only the stones, I can select the material and automatically the software will find where are the stones displayed in my tree, and I can show them again. So you can mix the type together, you can clear the filter, and automatically the software will show you where are the items you are looking for. For example, voila, I want to show the items with the diamonds, for example. So you have the types, but you can also type something if you have to search maybe something you renamed, or if you want to search the sketch or the extrusion, you can also type directly extrusion in the search bar, and you have the extrusion displayed. So you can edit them, you can delete, etc., etc. So this search bar will be a new friend in V11, and trust me, it is really useful when you have a project which starts to be long and the tree is not easy to navigate in. As I said during the presentation of the new advanced wrap, we created for you a dedicated library of patterns. So as you can see, I displayed some of them. I can show you directly in the software, the library. So you have now new folder, which is installed by default when you install the data of the software. So you can see that we have new patterns, which are simple or not simple, and you can use them in the advanced wrap. So they are in 2D, they are in 3D. It's up to you. You can navigate directly in the library and use them from the from the advanced wrap feature, or you can even use them as only one pattern you want to work on. Some of them has been created with Shaper, some of them no. So you can edit them with Shaper, or you can continue the job with a normal 3D object in 3Design. And the good thing is that you have also the possibility to create your own pattern. So now, if you have to draw something specific for your design, maybe you want to have that. I select something. I need to draw it in gold. I want to have it on the center. And why not? I can cut it, for example, on the right plane. Voila. And then I use the crop and punch. So if I want this pattern to be duplicated, or if I want to use this pattern as a texture, etc., etc., I have a new option in Export Library. So I have my library directly there, and you can see that we can decide to export as a pattern, and the software is asking you if you want to have a rectangular or hexagonal pattern. We will create some videos to explain you how to create really nice patterns to be able to merge them when they are duplicated, how to make it symmetrical, etc., etc. This video is coming soon. What about this Gizmo? So the Gizmo is the manipulator you have in the software. We decided to make it available in all the features you have in 3Design. To harmonize the software and the way you use it, we want our users to be familiar with this new Gizmo because you have technical informations regarding the size, regarding the distance, regarding the angle, etc., etc. So each time in the software you have the possibility to move, rotate, scale, this gizmo will be displayed, and you have only one gizmo now in 3Design V11. So it's more efficient for the beginners, and even for expert users, you use always the same tools regarding the move, rotate, scale. Something which is also useful, we have a lot of our users, they want to control and organize properly the 3D files they have been created. So now from the options, you have the possibility to define where you want to be located when you save a file. Is it the last save folder? Is it the last open file folder? Or is it a dedicated folder you want to work inside and you want to keep always the same folder for your clients for dedicated organization? So through this new option we have in V12, you will be able to control perfectly the organization of the saved files. We know that you have dedicated screens, high quality screens for 3D software, especially for 3Design, and you have now plenty of them on the market. You have curved screen, you have 4K screen, which are more or less big. So we had to adapt the software according to the sizes of the screen we have on the market today. So as you have your preferences and you want to control what are the size of the curves, what are the sizes of the points, etc. Now in 3Design V11 you have the possibility to change yourself, so you can have small, medium and large, but you have also the possibility to custom the sizes of the points and the curves to adapt perfectly your solution 3Design to the hardware you use, especially for high quality screen, 4K, 5K, etc., etc. So now you can change that for 3Shaper and the sketch, and it adapts perfectly the sizes of your curve points and other things in the software according to the screen. What about the feature improvements? As we worked a lot in V11 on the deformation tools, we had to optimize and change the performances regarding all those tools that you can see. So if you don't know, if you are not a 3Design users, quickly you have taper, twist, symmetrical bend, etc., deformation according a curve, all the wrap and wrap functions I presented and the existing one that you have in the previous versions. So we had to optimize these tools. The text is the best example to show how the performances has been optimized. So I have a quick example. As you can see, now in 3Design, you have the possibility to have a good objects when you deform, especially text, which can be complicated to deform if you want to engrave or if you want to add an extrusion directly on your objects. So through these new options and new performances, you have better experience with the deformations. It's quick, it's better quality, and everything is optimized. So you can see that the text is well deformed. I can use it in a Boolean operation if you want to do the engraving, for example, if you want to simulate the engraving. And this can be done on brep, so 3Design file. You can also use, like you can see on the egg, the twist, and it's faster, better quality, and the performance are optimized in V11. So everything that you like in V10 with the deformation tools can be better regarding the quality of the results, and it is a really good improvements we have in V11, especially for the stability and the quality of the software, and sure the objects that you create. We added some useful features, especially for the twist. Quick example, it can be useful for the twist to have more than one revolution. So we added this field in the twist because I can turn 360 degrees, but if I want to turn and turn again, I don't want to have several twists in my tree. Now you have the possibility to change the number of the twists. You have only to create one twist in the tree, and then if you want, for this example, create the sweep directly inside on the rail that you twisted, and it is really really fast. And again, think about the performances regarding the deformation. Now I can bend it, I can twist it again, I can deform it along a curve to put it on a ring, for example. So performances for the deformations are also a great point that we have in V11. Cut and delete preview. This is also a nice improvement we have in cut and delete tool. Quickly, if you want to see what you are deleting or keeping on this feature, now you have a dedicated preview. We remove the side you want to delete, and we display the side you want to keep, and automatically you have the display in live, which is changed, and it is easier for the users to have directly what will be the result before you validate. So it's a really nice improvement we have in the cut and delete. What about the advanced Pavi? This incredible feature we have in 3Design has to be improved every versions. So we had some feedbacks regarding the possibility to select several positions you have on the objects, or your object you are putting stones on it. But I don't have the possibility in V10, for example, to move them together as a group, because I'm really happy with what I created. The positions are perfect, but I don't know where exactly I have to position them. So I want to test, but I want to keep my group because the group is nice. It fits what I want to create. So through the V11, you can create the pavé, and you can select with control now the positions, and you can move them together, or you can modify them together. It means if you want to change the size, or if you want to delete it, or if you want to change the rotation, you can see that I control all the group and I can manipulate the group on the surface. So this is a quick improvement, great improvement we have in V11, and again it provides you more accuracy and more flexibility regarding the pavé and the positions. Stone color. You know that we have great features in 3Design regarding the reporting. If you want to send reports to your colleagues or the company you work with, especially for setters, you have to display and you have to explain them properly and technically what are the stones you want to put and where are the stones on the project. You know that we can, in the advanced pavé, you can apply colors on the positions, and those colors has to be used in the report. Through the V11, now you have the possibility to say, I created my colors directly in the advanced pavé. As you can see, I have my colors which are applied on each diameters I have on my pavé. And now in the stone color report, you say override with pavé colors, and directly you have all the colors you created. So again, big time saving because you don't have to apply again the colors you had before in the pavé, and directly they can be used in the report, and you have this professional report to be sent to your partners, and it provides professional credibility and technical credibility through those great functions. We have an improvement also in Retopology feature. So let me show you directly on an example. Okay. Okay, I will create something from scratch. It will be easier for you to understand. So let's say a signet ring, and I want to use this signet ring as a support because I want to create my retopology on it. So it can be a 3D object, STL, curves, planes, surface, 3D objects. But the cool thing we have in V11 is that now you can say, I want to do retopology on this object. So it will be 3D object. And now I can change the transparency of the object like that. So I keep my object displayed, but it's easier for me to work because now it's transparent and I can control and I can see better where I'm working on. So you can see that now I can draw the surface and it's easier for me, especially when you want to see if and check if under the ring or the support you are working on, you positioned properly the faces. So this is a great improvement we have. We had a lot of feedback regarding that. So we decided to develop that for our users. They wanted to be more accurate with the support and especially the 3D object you want to work on for the retopology. Okay, so that one is one of the best improvement we have in V11, because we know that yes, you can do crazy things in 3Design, shaper objects, high jewelry creations, etc., etc. But the finality will be to export into STL your project. And if the STL is poor quality, not enough analyzed with problems, etc., you know that at the end you will have problem with the printing. So we want to be sure that with 3Design and the creations and everything that you created, all the objects you want to export with 3Design has to be the best as possible. So through the V11, we worked a lot on the quality and the stability of the export. So as you can see, I displayed the main improvements that we have on the STL. So now you have a pop-up which shows you what are the steps. So it provides you a great clues when you want to see if the STL is almost finished and where I am in the process. You can change directly the directory to organize the file to avoid to lose the file in the in your computer. You can cancel the export if, for example, you forgot to add something on the STL and you don't want to wait till the end of the process. You can cancel the process. The three shaper objects are directly converted into the quality of the subdivision that you decided to have on the creation. The performances are up to 10 times faster regarding the export. So let me show you directly on 3Design. Up. I will open the same ring that I showed on the slide. Okay. So I displayed the topology just for me to understand better the design, and then I select. It's just for you to understand that we can display the metal, but we can also display the topology. So I wanted to explain that as I activated the display. So it's the good opportunity for me to explain you this topology display, but I wanted to show you the STL. So we have a dedicated STL option in the Pro version of 3Design and the Atelier version. So you can see that we have now more options for the analyze, for the precisions, if you want to fix the STL. So for example, I will display, so you can see the pop-up. So the pop-up is showing you that, for example, we are converting the models. So the software is computing. If I forgot something, I can cancel, and now the software is saying that it's preparing the preview, so you see and you know where exactly you are in the process of the STL. And then it says if it's a success or not, and you can go deeper in the analyze if you want to display the error. So we display the error, so we can see that we don't have error, and you can have a detailed analyze. For example, if I want to see the self-intersection, which are not so important for some of your STLs, but if you want to see exactly where you can improve or if you can have problems with the STL, now it shows the self-intersections. So it is a good clue if you want to modify or if you want to correct the STL. So we have better analyses. As I said, now the export is 10 times faster than before. So the STL export has been improved a lot in V11 version. And as I said also, if you want to export in a dedicated folder, now you have the possibility also to export it, and you can decide the folder you want to work inside. If you have, for example, a dedicated STL folder on your computer and you want to export all your STL inside, you can decide to change directly the file location there. And we kept the same possibility to export directly the object in the printing software. So for example, I export that one. So for example, I linked Preform software for Formlabs printers, and directly the software will be opened with my STL inside. So we kept these options, which is also really useful when you don't want to navigate in your computer and you want to stay in your solution 3Design, and you want to directly have your printing directly in your software. So it is an option we have in 3Design there. Another good improvement we have in 3Design is regarding the Boolean operations. So you have new strategies now. So I created this explanation just for you to understand what is and what are the new strategies we have in 3Design when the Boolean failed. So for example, if it failed, we can cancel the operation. So we have exactly the same pop-up than in the STL. So you can cancel the operation if you are not okay with the calculation of the software, or if you forgot something you want to add in the Boolean operation. And if you want to continue the process, you have two new strategies. So the software will try to add randomly all the objects according, for example, the main one, which is the A, and randomly you have the B, which will be Booleaned one by one to get the perfect Boolean operation. So we are talking about plus. It can be minus, but I'm talking about plus. Boolean operation add. And we have another strategy which is along a grid. So this strategy will allow you to be more accurate on certain Boolean operations, which can give more percentage regarding the success of your Boolean operations. So the two strategies are available. So the software is doing it automatically, but you can even control it directly in the Boolean operation features. So you have the automatic process, but if you even want to control, and you know, for example, that regarding your design or regarding the workflow, the way you created your object, maybe along a grid will be the strategy you want to use. You can decide. So automatically it will be on random, but if you want to do along a grid, you can decide these options. And through the keep last field values as default we have also in the feature, every time you will work on along a grid. So it's a good improvement for Boolean operations to have more possibilities in case the operation failed. Then you have two options if you want to apply or not the strategies, and it provides a better percentage regarding the success of your operations. So let's talk about the global info. So just a summary of the new version on 11. So you have in the version 11 25 new features. The user experience and the stability have been improved. We improved the existing features that we have in the previous version as usual, because we want the best feature as possible for our users. And sure, we have a lot of feedback to improve our software, so we try our best to improve the software according to your feedback, and we grow up together to be sure that you are fully satisfied with the software. 3Design V11 has been STL focused. So as I said, now we have better quality, better analysis, and it is faster in the process. And we have new strategies for the deformation tools. If you want to be more flexible and if you want to do crazy things for jewelry and high jewelry, the deformation tools are stronger than the previous version. So you can see all the new features and improvements. So this is a summary. We have also, regarding the user experience, better translations according to the language you want. You have 15 languages in 3Design. Everything has been translated for the V11. Search bar, which is really nice. You can change the display. You have bas relief feature, which is also really nice options. And I wanted also to provide you some testimonials we have already from our V11 users. They are really happy and they love to use now the search tools options we created in V11, which is really, really useful. It changes your daily use because you just have to use Control F, you search the option, and directly you are in. You don't have to think and navigate in the software anymore. The bas relief in 3Shaper is a really great function because you can create from 2D sketches nice 3D objects with everything you created in the sketch. STL export, as I said, deformation improvements which are better and faster. And at the end, the advanced unwrap and wrap, which are the new deformation tools, crazy tools. You can do really nice things really easy through the patterns. So that's really something I really want to use and like to use in V11 when I'm using 3Design V11 now. So just examples that we received from one of our users. So he has been able to print crazy objects with the patterns that he created for V11. So you can see on the 3 examples that they have been exported and printed with the V11, just for you to see some of examples we have created with V11. Technical info regarding the compatibilities. So we are compatible with M1 chipset for the moment. M2 is under test. We will inform you through the technical page for technical specifications. So we are compatible for the V11 on Monterey, which is the latest OS, and you can see the other products from 3Design family and the compatibilities. And for sure, we are also compatible with Windows Pro, Windows 10, and Windows 11. If you want more information regarding the technical specifications, the configurations regarding 3Design you need to have to optimize the using of the software, everything can be requested from sales@type3.com if you have any questions regarding the hardware and the OS you want to use with 3Design. So just a summary regarding the V11. We have now in the Pro version, full option, we have 300 tools which are dedicated to your creations. Everything is available in the software. You don't have limits regarding the creativity and the ideas. You can do everything through 300 tools we have in V11 now. And you have, with the options, the option 3 Shaper, we have now 88 tools for the subdivision modeling option, which is 3 Shaper. And for people who don't have 3 Shaper, we have 3 Shaper Lite, which is by default in 3Design, and you have inside 20 new tools. 20 tools, sorry, not new. Voilà, so again, I'm Maxime Tifino, 3Design Product Manager. It has been a pleasure to present you the new version 11. I'm really proud of this solution and this new version. If you have any questions, technical questions, if you want to purchase the upgrade, or if you want to purchase a 3Design license, I invite you to contact our great sales teams from sales@type3.com. And talk to you soon. See you soon. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. And I wish you a great day, good evening, good night, and talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye bye. Au revoir.